name is Marisa Stone. I am with Simon Says Social and the Systems Lounge, and I want to welcome you to the 2017 Business Systems Virtual Summit, where you learn all about the business systems that our speakers use to get stuff done. Today, I am super excited to have Kay Sanders here talking to us about list building for business. This is a huge topic. If you are not yet building your email list, this is the place for you to be, so you can learn all about the tools and tricks Kay uses to get your list up and running. Kay is an intuitive business coach, consultant, and best-selling author. She helps conscious entrepreneurs find that missing piece to making their business a huge success so that they can make a big impact in the world and create more freedom for their life. This includes your online presence, marketing strategies, sales processes, and even mind work. She specializes in implementing effective systems and strategies to design a profitable and sustainable business model for creating the business of your dreams. Kay truly believes that everyone not only deserves, but also has the ability to live a fulfilling life of success. Kay, welcome. I am so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me, and great introduction. I really appreciate that.
Let's do this.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I'm really, really excited to dive into this topic about list building. It is so very important for entrepreneurs. So thank you so much for being here and sharing everything that we are getting ready to talk about. So let's begin at the beginning. What's a list?
Well, a list is a bunch of people on your email list that you can basically reach out to, and you can get clients from that. List building is really very, 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 very important, because without a list, you don't have no people to reach out to, and it's really your warm market. So whereas, like, if you, let's say, go on Facebook, if you have a big following on Facebook, LinkedIn, or any of those other social medias, yes, they are your following, but what can you really do with them? When you post something online, how many are actually going to see what you're posting? Because, you know, it gets swallowed up in the feed. So not everyone is actually going to see that. And when you have that list, that's your raving fans right there. People who already said yes to something that you offered. So maybe they're not your clients yet, but they already said yes to learning more about you and getting to know you better, you know, building up that trust factor to maybe then consider working with you or becoming one of your clients. So that's really what a list is your personal email list. And I'm not talking about Outlook or anything like that, emails that you just collect from here and there. No, it's actually like a strategy behind it to really build your list, to have those followings, like your raving fans that are following you, that really looking forward to, you know, hearing from you, getting your content, getting your messages. And so that's basically what a list is. A list is a list of people who already said yes to something that you had to offer.
Very nice. Very nice. So what is list building?
Well, list building is really getting the people who might be interested in you, who could potentially be your client at one point, really getting on your email list. And like I just mentioned, you have all these people maybe on social media, but on social media, I mean, Facebook could go away tomorrow. So let's say you have 5,000 connections on Facebook, and what if it goes away tomorrow? What happens to those 5,000 people? They're gone. Right. So you always want to try to really get them from social media onto your list. And even if you're doing cold outreaches or doing some kind of cold traffic to an offer that you're doing, you can still build your list of people that have never even heard of you. Right. Usually people don't just decide to start working with you or buy your products right the first time they meet you. So building that list is very important, so they can get to know you, they can get to like you, they get to trust you more. And that's why list building is really, you're putting something out there, and it's different. There are different ways to really build your list with different offers to get people on your list. And then from there, you build up the trust and rapport with them, and in order to really turn them into paying clients. But it's really, the whole process is getting people from online or people that don't even know who you are on your list, so you can then build up the relationship with them to then make offers and convert them into paying clients, and later down the road or right away, depending on the person.
Right. So are there certain instances where you might not want to build a list?
I can't think of any. No, I mean every business needs leads, right? I mean, if you are in the business to sell your services, sell products, or sell anything, you need to have leads, and in order to get leads, you need to have a list. So any business that might think that I don't need a list, you definitely need a list, because that is, like I said, your list of raving fans. So you have your cold market and you have your warm market, which is your list. So who do you think is going to be more inclined to actually buy it from you? People who have no idea who you are, or people who have been following you for a while, who already are on your list, who are getting your content. So the chance of getting more clients out of your list is a lot higher than just posting something online. Hey, buy from me. No one is really going to see that. No one really cares about that. Right. So that's why no matter what business you're in, even if you're in nonprofit or whatever business you're in, I believe that every business owner needs to work on list building. It is the most crucial part of your business, because without a list, you don't have people to really prospect to. You don't have people to build up the relationship with, because like I said, social media can go away tomorrow. And then what are you going to do?
And
so any business needs it.
Yeah,
exactly. I think there was like one thing that Blab or whatever, that Blab, it went away like right away. And like even Periscope, I don't even think anyone uses that. So those platforms, I mean, even if you have maybe like tons of clients or like potential clients on there, you need to convert them into your list in order to, because I mean, the list is yours. You can do with it whatever you want. It's not going to go away. They are yours unless people unsubscribe. But other than that, the list is yours. You can do with it whatever you want. So any business needs to really focus on list building.
Yeah, good point. And I really like that you called them your raving fans, right? Because these are the people who have said, yes, please send me your information. Let me know what offers and services you have available, because I'm interested in learning more about you. And I think that's the operative phrase in all of this, right? Is where else are you going to step out the door and have this group of people who are saying, pick me?
Exactly. So and like I mentioned earlier, not everyone is going to buy from you right away. So you need to have a way to market to them, and what better way to use your list for that?
Right, exactly. So what do I need in order to start list building?
Okay. The first thing is you need to have an email service provider. And I'm not talking about your regular Outlook or anything like that. I'm talking about like a list building. I mean, an email service for example, InstaBuilder is not InstaBuilder. I'm sorry. Infusionsoft. That's like one of the big ones. That's for someone that's really very successful. They can implement that because it's like a business in a box, or ClickFunnels, same thing. Other ones more on the low end cost is like GetResponse, Aweber, ConvertKit. Those type of services, they offer list building service. They also offer like the email service where you can send out automated messages. You can send out the newsletters, other emails. So you need to have one of those, because if you use your Outlook, you can actually get in huge trouble with that, because Outlook is not made for bulk emailing. And that's really what list building is all about, is you're sending emails to a huge list. So if you're having a list of, let's say, 1,000 people, Outlook is not going to be good for that. And also your ISP, your internet service provider, is going to ding you for that, because that's considered spamming. But if you have those people on your email service provider like GetResponse, or those service providers, then it is okay for you to send out emails. But I just want to point out something. You cannot just put emails onto that email service provider just for emails that you collect online or whatever. People need to literally opt in, saying, yes, I want to receive information from you. And I've seen that a lot where, for example, on LinkedIn, a lot of people, I'm connected to a lot of people, and now all of a sudden I see a lot of emails coming into my inbox. I'm like, I've never subscribed to the email list. That is a big no-no, because there is the spam law, whatever you call that. You can get dinged for that. So if you are adding people to your list without their permission, it can end really bad for you. You can actually get fined if it happens too often. But basically, you start out with that email service provider. Then you create an offer. Usually what most people do is they create something called a lead magnet. That's a free offer that can be a PDF, a video series, email course, a questionnaire, an assessment, even a complimentary session could be a lead magnet. It's basically, excuse me, anything that's of value to your ideal client where they would say, oh my God, I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Right.
So that's what you need in order to start your list building. It's really having an email service provider and having a free offer that you can put out there, promote, and get people. It's kind of like some marketers, they call it like a bribe, because you're basically bribing your ideal client to opt into your list. But that's really the initial things that you really need is the email service provider, the lead magnet, and then a good offer to get them on your list. Right.
So let's talk about the lead magnet for a minute. You mentioned that it's maybe a document. What is a good lead magnet? What is that made up of?
Well, the first thing is really you need to know who your ideal client is.
Yes.
What keeps them up at night? And a lot of people, they think they know who their ideal client is, but they really don't.
Yeah.
Because when you know who your ideal client is, you know what keeps them up at night. What are their biggest struggles? What are their fears, their challenges? What is it the question that they want answers to? Really know who your ideal client is. Because if you're just putting something out there that you think would be okay to them, that you think they might like, but if it's not really tailored to them, you're not going to get anyone to sign up for it, because it really has to speak to them. And then the key is also to use their language. So really think about what is going on in their head. What are they thinking about? So let's use, for example, lead magnet as an example. What do people usually think about? Well, how do I really create a lead magnet? I don't really know what goes into a lead magnet. What should I write a lead magnet about? How to go about it? So these are the things that go on in, let's say, my ideal client's head. Really, then I use whatever goes on in their head and use it in my lead magnet. Ask for the title, for the messaging, anything that I'm putting out there. It's really based on what is going on in my ideal client's head. And then I like to look at it as, I'm pretty sure you've written an essay before, right?
Right.
So I see it the same way. When you create a lead magnet, you start the same way. You start with a title, you start with an outline, and you basically fill it in if you're creating, let's say, a PDF. And some people, they might overthink it, saying, oh my God, I need to write like 20 pages, 30 pages. And no, you don't.
No.
It can be a one-page PDF. The key is it has to be valuable. It has to be something that your ideal client wants, and it has to solve at least like one problem, or at least, give some good value. Not completely solve something, but you definitely, nowadays it's really, we're going away from just doing like a little tease or giving something as a tease and then, promising so much more, but then they need to pay for that. Right. Now it's really, the way marketing is now is really, we're providing value. We're in the value-based marketing, and the only way you really provide value is by giving away your good stuff.
Right.
And if people see already your free stuff and see like, oh my gosh, she's giving away all this for free, how much more am I actually going to get if I actually pay for her services?
Yeah.
So people don't like to be bought. People don't want to be sold to, they want to be bought. And the only way you can do that is by providing value.
Right.
So that's basically, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, I think you did.
But it's really...
And a lead magnet can be a number of things. It can be a PDF. It can be an ebook. It can be a video. It can be a challenge. It can be, a group session or a one-on-one strategy session. There are so many things. Like once you know your audience and you know what they're interested in, that's really how you figure out what lead magnet you want to create. Exactly. By knowing them. And I find that my ideal client is the me of yesteryear. It's me 3 or 4 years ago when I was struggling trying to figure out my systems, struggling trying to figure out the different technologies that I could use to accomplish the goal. And if you think about your ideal client as being somebody like that, all you have to do when you're trying to design your lead magnet is first listen, but then also think about, well, where was I in my head several years ago? What were the things that were keeping me up at night?
Exactly.
So that really helps you to create a stellar lead magnet, in my opinion.
Yeah. And even webinars or like a virtual summit, also great lead magnets, because how much value are you putting out in your virtual summit, in your webinar? So, no one really pays for that. It is free, but it is of high value. They're walking away saying, oh my God, I've just learned so much out of this. So you position yourself as this expert, this generous expert that people really want to follow, because you didn't skim in on the information that you're putting out. You're really providing value. You care about your ideal clients. And that, I think, means a lot more than if you're just, talking around all corners and not really providing value. You're giving a hint that you know the answers, that you can help someone. But if you're not actually providing with value, I mean, you basically, for me, I think it's more like wasting someone's time. They're signing up for your lead magnet and you're not providing value. I just, I don't like this kind of model. Right. Like, just really provide value. Really provide value. That's my motto.
I agree. So, and we talked about a lead magnet and an opt-in, but why can't I just buy a list and be done with it?
Because they never opted into you. They don't know who you are. It's the same as if you have no clue who I am and I buy your list and I start messaging you and you're like, who is that? Why is that person messaging me? It's the same example as what I used with LinkedIn. Yes, you can build your LinkedIn profile. I have like almost 6,000 people on there. I could put them in my email list, but they never opted in. So it's actually going to hurt your reputation. And if you're a public figure and you just use, like, basically bombard other people with because I mean, that's basically spamming. If you're making offers, or if you're starting emailing people, if you're just putting them into your email service provider and you just start emailing them, they don't know who you are. It's going to hurt your reputation. So the chances of them actually opening your emails, reading your stuff, and taking you up on your offers is very, very slim. Yeah, so let's look at it, for example, like this. If you have a list of 1,000 people that you just bought, and you have 1,000 people on your list who really like what you're doing, who said yes to your offer, where do you think you're going to get a better response? From the people that have no clue who you are, who never opted into your stuff, who don't know you, who don't care about you, who don't even want your stuff, or the people who are really your raving fans? Yeah. So that's why I'm completely against buying a list, because it's really just going to hurt your reputation. And like I said, if you are a public figure, your reputation is everything. If you hurt your reputation, then you're not going to be in business for very much longer, because then people are going to say, well, she bought a list. She's just emailing me. She's bombarding me. I never opted in. It's not going to look good. So you're really going to hurt yourself really, really bad if you're doing that. So I completely am against that.
I agree 100%. So let's go over just some simple, I know we're sort of coming to the end of this interview, but let's go over some simple strategies for list building. Let's say, okay, I'm on board. I hear what you're saying. I want to build my list. What can I do?
Okay. Well, like I said, it really starts out with know exactly who your ideal client is, and then come up with a few titles, like a few topics of what do you have knowledge about? What can you dissect in like just a short, one problem solving topic, and then you can come up with different topics and really create the lead magnet around that. And like I mentioned before, it can be a PDF, and it doesn't have to be many pages. It can be one page up to 12, 13 pages. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be a video series. It can be assessment or anything. I mean, you need to know who your ideal client is, and then create something that your ideal client would want. So if you want to create a video series, but your ideal client is more into having a PDF, then don't create a video series. So that's why it's so important to know exactly who is your ideal client. And then you create the lead magnet and you just promote it, really push it out there in any way that you can think of. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can do it, from paid advertising and sharing it on Facebook, doing it, incorporating in your blog. Really, I think social media is really a big thing to really push it out. Even ask your friends and colleagues to see if they might be interested in helping you promote it. But really just get it out there, and then really build up the trust and rapport with your email. So once they're on your list, don't just let them sit there. Really build up the trust and rapport with them, because once they're on your list, you need to nurture that relationship. It's really just like a relationship. So let's say you're going dating. You are on the first date. After that, you're still going to call the guy, right? Or the woman. So you need to nurture the relationship, and it's the exact same thing with your email list. So that's really the basic thing, is create something your ideal client would want, create it, get it out there, push it out there in as many ways as you can think of, and then nurture your list.
Perfect. Oh, I love it. And that makes it seem so simple and not quite so abstract and overwhelming, right? So
Yes.
I know we're at the end of our time on this first interview. Guys, if you are part of the All Access Pass, stick around because we are going to dive much deeper into list building with Kay in just a few moments. But before we get off here, Kay, tell us, how can people reach out to you?
Well, they can go on my website. It's kaysanders.com, so kaysanders.com. And I'm pretty sure you said you're going to put the link underneath the video. So just click below the video.
Yep.
They can find me on, excuse me, they can find me on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I also have a YouTube channel, which I just started recently. So they can stalk me there, get to know me a little bit. If they want to reach out to me, they can definitely do that through my website. I'll also offer a complimentary business breakthrough session where I really help people really figure out, what can they do, what kind of system strategies to implement. They can go to my website. There's a tab, work with me, and underneath this consultation, they can just schedule a session with me, and I'd be happy to help them or answer any questions that they might have about list building and systems and strategies.
Very cool. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you being here. Guys, stick around because we are going to dive much deeper into list building in just a few moments. See you in the next interview. Bye, everyone.